My name is Patty Canellis. This is my brother Peter Canellis.
Yes.
And we formed our little group back in 2009 officially. Before that we've been to Gettysburg and such. But things started with us really was our grandmother, we think, had sensitivities, but I think when you consider her generation, she was born in 1903. She didn't talk much about it, but one story that she would tell us that made me sleep with the covers over my head for years is that when she was about 16, 3 nights in a row, this guy came to the foot of her bed with his top hat on, western tuxedo. I mean, she just could not figure out what it was. And every time she would call her parents in, the guy would go out. Well, the last time he touched her toes, and I guess he was like ice cold, so she let out this horrible scream. As he was walking out the door, her family was coming in, and there was absolutely no one there. And then she never saw him again. So our theory is maybe it was some kind of guide to her, but she also had a friend.
She scared the crap out of me. I was 9 years old and she told me that story. It was cool.
She had a friend that was a medium, and he was known in the community. He was involved with the Freeville Spiritualist Church, and people would come to him to find items. So we had heard these things, so we were open to it, and we started our website. And when people started calling us, I used to say maybe 50% of the people had a story for us. Now I'm thinking of 75, because so many times, and well, being a ghost hunter yourself, you probably know this, you get talking about it, and people know that you're open to it, so they tell you their stories. And one thing that happened with us too, just before we started, our dad died of cancer, but before he died, he was very much skeptical about things, and I don't even know how much of an afterlife he believed in, but as he was dying the last couple of weeks, he was talking to our grandmother who'd been dead about 50 years, talking to his old war buddies that were dead, and everybody that he was talking to was no longer alive. And he would act like, you know, come over and meet this person. I mean, it was kind of amazing. And as a nurse, I've heard these stories too. Now I work in hospice. I see it a lot. At the end of life, people do this. A good book, if anybody's interested in that, is Visions, Trips, in Crowded Rooms. It was written by a nurse, and it tells about people's end-of-life dealings with things from the other side, which kind of makes me feel good that maybe people come and help you out. Yep. But we've been doing this for a while. Let Peter tell you about some of the equipment.
Yeah, well, starting with the K2, that's why I was setting some of these up. I actually got a vibration detector too, because people hear footsteps all the time. So this actually picks up the vibrations of the footsteps.
Sometimes you put it on stairs.
Because you can physically capture that, and there will be nobody around when this thing will go off. It's pretty crazy.
We'll hook up a lot of this equipment to cameras, then try to get out of the area. And if you have motion lights or things like this going off and nobody's in the area, it's a good sign.
You see this going off too, because it's getting out of the TV. But the K2 is just pretty popular in taps. You notice they use the walkie-talkies a lot. Well, I don't know if this will go off again.
Sometimes you find there's interference, or with cell phones you can have interference with the K2s.
You'll see it go off. So if there's any interference, if you have walkie-talkie and you click it, this will go off. Any telephones, emails, anything, this will set off. So we kind of discard this. You know, we'll turn off our phones and make sure, but still any radio, this will pick it off. So this is not a great tool, and it's funny because that's the main tool we use. But yeah, so we notice you get a lot of false hits off those. You can't really rely on. The best tool, I think, that locks out. This is made by an engineer, and his daughter got in a car crash. I don't know if you know Melanie's story. Yeah, and this is called a millimeter, named after his daughter. but he knows appliances going off, crazy stuff. He's like, I'm an engineer, I'm not supposed to believe in this stuff. So he engineered this just for what we do. So it blocks out a lot of those things that the K2 picks up. So it's more shielded. So I believe in this more. I mean, it's still picking up a little bit of the TV. Well, I like it's got the temperature gauge built in, and it's even got a little light so you can see when you're walking. So these are great. I use this all the time. I trust this a lot more than the other two. I like this. This is nice because it has the alarm in it, and you can see it's going off because it's by the TV. So you got to watch it too.
We'll do a walkthrough and see if we get anything on that.
Yes.
Then we'll know before.
Do a baseline sweep. You don't got any EMFs going off, then you know. But if the TV or something, you know, obviously you turn off what you can, but obviously you can turn the refrigerator off or something. But you know there's EMFs in the room. But if it spikes, if it goes from 0 to something, then you know something's changing. So that's kind of what we do. Kind of scientific in that way. The only thing that's not scientific that I do, I'm not sure. I use regular dowsing rods, but I made these up for going at night, and I'll search out energy spots. So I'll just go. Our grandmother was sensitive, so we kind of runs in the family. But this will pick up energy. It'll go to people, like it's picking up you guys right there. But how I get my pictures is kind of how I set up where I feel the energy most. And I'll actually feel the house too. I can tell where there's energy. I can go in different rooms and tell you what energy is stronger. So it helps me set up my cameras. I think it really helps to be a little sensitive to it.
Some of our best pictures have been on the trail cams or your infrared camera.
Right. So anyway, that's just a guide. It helps. It does yes and no questions. If you ask, it'll go out for no and yes. And if it gets where there's a lot of energy, it'll cross. You go really fast, I'll lose a lot of energy right there. So, like I said, it's not really scientific, but it just helps me. So I like them. It's kind of similar to people witching wells. We've had a lot because water's energy. That's how it's the same basis as energy outside here. Water's energy. That's how they work wells too. So.
A couple of times with the dowsing rods, we have videotaped as we're doing a dowsing rod session. And what we had one case in particular, we asked about 25 questions on a suicide case. And when we listened back to the EVPs, they went along with the tape we had of using the dowsing rods. Oh, that's a yes. And you're hearing this girl's voice say yes.
And we videotape our EVP session so we don't make sure it's not us talking, so we can debunk our own evidence. So we're pretty high on debunking because, you know, we don't want to make sure everything's evidence if it's not. So we throw out a lot of evidence. If someone's talking, yeah, it's in the actual video, that we're actually, you know, holding the recorder up and we're talking, somebody else is talking, then we don't include it as evidence because it's contaminated. So that's just my feeling.
The other interesting thing, when we go into like private houses, sometimes people are there, which we like them to stay because it's what we call a familiar, somebody that the ghost or spirit or whatever is comfortable with, and they'll want to whisper, and we're like, don't whisper because that kind of spoils the EVP.
It's hard to hear here, so.
And you think you've got an EVP, and it's really just them whispering.
Yeah, don't do that. This camera's modified for ghost hunting. It was the lenses were taken out because the lenses block a lot of the light, so it makes it full spectrum. I don't want to refer to that. So it makes it more deeper into the light. That's how I've gotten some of my pictures. And some of them were like that picture of the ghost right there in the museum.
Got Seneca Falls Museum.
That was with a regular camera. So regular cameras will pick up, you know, pick up ghosts too. So, but yeah. So
if you're actually just getting started, digital recorder, trail cam.
They're pretty good. They're more, yeah. The older ones are actually better. I think it's 4100 amp or something like that. They're really sensitive. We've got the best evidence off them. Ghost box, SP90 or SP70. SP70, I'm sorry. That works good. That's like a radio hack shack, and it filters through. We've had people screaming crazy stuff on there, crying, little boy crying, that you just know it's not, you know, on the radio. So.
And actually, sometimes we've gotten names.
Yeah, we've actually gotten names connected to people.
Ghost box. The one that I loved, it was a case in Elmira. There was a brother who had his brother was kind of in trouble, he had some issues. And he thought his father was there, and he said, Dad, if you're there, give me a sign. 3 times the ghost box said, help Mike, help Mike, help Mike. Come to find out, his brother that was having the issues, which we didn't know any of this, was named Mike. So to us, that was very much a sign that, yeah, Dad probably was there.
I said my name like 5 times.
Yeah.
I mean, people say, oh, just scans things. We just get your name and stuff like that, or intelligent responses.
Or sometimes swear words. It's not programmed for
it's
swear
not
words.
programmed in there, yeah. So it's kind of interesting what you get. I like the Ovilus is pretty good. They got like a bunch of things. You can run white noise, all kinds of stuff. Oops, let me turn this on. I like the speaker with it. I like the DTD's screen. So you can actually see, like it just said story and business. You can actually see the words on it. So you're not guessing what the heck it's saying.
And if it's some of the words it repeats to us in several times, then we think that's just words.
Yeah, we gotta throw them out. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it just repeats the same words. So.
But we've gotten to know what it repeats.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool though. We got some pretty good stuff out there.
As a matter of fact, one time we got this name, Al Jewett, and we were at a bed and breakfast, and we said, "Who's here?" Comes out with this complete name. Come to find out, somebody we'd done an investigation for a few months before had a wedding there, and her father-in-law died like about a month before the wedding, but the wedding had been taking place. And guess what? Her father-in-law's name was Al Jewett. So that was a little amazing to us that we would get
I knew
that.
her last name was Jewett, so I texted her, I said, you know Al Jewett? She goes, oh my God. Well, my father-in-law, but she goes, he passed a month before the wedding. I said, so there really isn't Al Jewett? She goes, yeah, he wanted to go to the wedding, but he passed just before the wedding.
And this wedding was at that bed and breakfast.
I think he was there. I think that's what I was trying to
We've
tell
had some funny coincidences. The other funny coincidence that we had was 3 different ghost groups had this one place to go into, but they felt it was too far, and so finally it got filtered back to us. And we went, and my friend Larry over there, he had 2 cousins that had passed away, and this was in the town of Newfield. And the guy that we went in a week ago started telling about living in Newfield, and he had lived at this one place, thought he used to play with the ghost and all, and he said where it was, and I said, well, I know 2 little boys who died, but that wasn't where they lived. That, must be somebody else. Then I was talking to my friend's mother. Come to find out, no, those little boys lived in the house where this kid was. So to me, it was like such an amazing coincidence, and it went along with my friend that these might have been his cousins. That was very strange.
I think the other groups didn't want to investigate because he dabbled in the black arts and almost like Satan worshiping stuff, type stuff. And we did get some bad stuff connected to him, and with his name actually on the digital recorder, cursing, and it's a long story, but the guy been through some troubles in jail and did some stuff. But yeah, so it was kind of interesting. Then he got out of it, and he's kind of cleaned up.
Exactly.
He's actually
But to me, the coincidence of knowing maybe who these ghosts were was really amazing.
Some of these people don't tell you they dabble in some of that stuff, and then you find out as you're investigating. They play
We
with
always
the Ouija
say
board.
don't play with the Ouija boards too. Even though when we were younger we did it too, but
Yeah.
it's not always a good idea.
You can open up a doorway, so we've seen that. Anyway, you want to shoot through some pictures?
Yeah, you want to
We can talk all night.
about this?
Well, that's you. So this house, people were pushed down the stairs. We're actually getting. It was pretty negative in the house. It's one of our more negative cases. Everybody got pushed down the stairs. They were waking up with scratches inside their legs.
The mother was going to the ER with heart palpitation.
Yeah, in this bed, she'd lay in there and she actually felt like she was having a heart attack. They rushed her to 3 times to the hospital and said, you're fine, there's nothing wrong with you. And then her sister stayed over one night and she goes, holy crap, what the heck's going on with your bed? Oh, she goes, oh, you had the heart part? Yeah, she says, I felt like my heart's coming through my chest. okay, it's not just me, she said.
So then they made me be the bait.
So I'll go up there and get in that bag.
So we got this, some orbs we don't believe in, but if they're
I'm not a
thick
big
and
orb.
solid, we're more likely to believe in them. And so when we first saw this, we thought, oh, this must be something bad. Talking to a friend of ours that's a medium, she said, no, that was protection for you. So it was nice to know I was being protected.
Yeah, that house was pretty, I made my stomach turn being in that house. It was very negative. People didn't stay in the house longer than 6 months.
Now, the
released.
funny thing about that too was
moved out.
the couple, it was kind of cute in a way. As soon as they got info from us that maybe there was something there, we had motion lights going off, EVPs, we had a lot of evidence. They said, we're getting out of this haunted house from hell. And they moved out.
Well,
So
the kid that was with us the night of the investigation,
Yeah.
the next day he woke up with a scratch.
Scratches on
all
the
the way up
inside
his, he had jeans on when it happened. He fell asleep with jeans, and all the way up his leg, three long scratch marks. And that's it. That just,
yeah. But
Well,
about 6 months later, we got another email to our phone call to the ghost site, and they were having the exact same issues of the other people. When Peter asked where the place was, it was the same house.
same activity, different families. So
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting to see. And it's almost like you're talking to the same family, but it's a whole different. They didn't know that first family. The family moved out of state, way out. They got the heck out of it. They were afraid it was going to follow them, which it didn't. They were petrified. So, yeah, let's try to get through some mistake.
This
Yeah.
was in Newfield.
I don't know if you can see that energy there. That house didn't have any electric, nothing. The whole story went back to deer hunters. They called me up and like, my son heard a girl screaming out in the woods. We thought she was being like murdered. So we ran out there and we didn't realize the house was there. The screams were coming out of this old house. I'm like, that's pretty crazy. So I investigated and actually got like some weird pictures. And I felt it. My nerve, as soon as I got close to the house, and the mother did too. She goes, I stopped. I was frozen. I actually felt the same thing she did. I got close to the house and I had hairs on my arms stood right up. This house is probably 150 years old.
And didn't you have some electrical, like EMFs?
Yeah, we got EMFs there. There's
And
no
there was
electric.
no electric at all.
I thought that was very odd. So, yeah. Anyway, I got a girl with my dowsing rods. It took me out by these trees here, and then the same mist was over my head. I thought that was interesting. You can
No
see
fog,
it's a clear.
nothing.
It was clear. It's just weird that the fog kind of stayed around. So I thought it was kind of odd. It was, just energy of some sort. It was pretty interesting. There was a little hump there where it said the girl was. It makes you wonder if she was buried out there. So the dowsing rod said she was killed. So I don't
Part
know.
of our fun of this, and I bet you find this to be true too, we love looking up the history, and it's great when the history coincides with some of the stuff that you find.
If you see this picture, this is what they told us. Take a lot of pictures of this because they seen faces in the window, and that was the old Barrow Inn out in Lyons, right? No, Clyde.
I always get those two.
Yeah, so Clyde, so he goes, yeah, we've seen dark shadows, but we've seen a lot of faces, so I took a picture.
So that's actually a window then?
Yeah, that's actually on the window, like, yeah, downstairs.
Up there, what's what they're doing.
I think the kitchen or bathroom, I can't remember. But anyway, almost, to me, it looked like an animal, almost like a nose and stuff. It was kind of negative. I felt kind of a negative source there when it was there. So we got a lot of emails, a lot of just crazy stuff there. So it was active. So. This is a Cornell student, which is right there. Older guy, he's a grad student. And he said he see a black mass floating over him at night. It would open up and you see this like evil looking face right down over him. He goes, make sure you put it over there by that, by this shelf, because it always floats over that. I see it all the time. He could actually see this stuff, and that's actually what I caught. This weird black rolling mist. It was pretty interesting. Exactly what he said.
We find that some of the people that call us in are sensitive themselves, and that's why we.
He wasn't cooking or anything. He was actually finished up his dishes because he's like, I got to clean. You guys are investigating. But there was no cooking. There was nothing. There was no reason why I should have done that. So. Down in the corner. this girl would wake up in the middle of the night. One night she felt tugging on her shirt, and she looked over, and it was a little girl looking her right in the face, and it scared the crap out of her. And we got a short person, just the same thing. This is only about 4 feet high, I think, because the door was, see how tall it is? We figured about 3 feet maybe, 3.5 feet, so it's pretty short, whatever it is. You can't really make it out.
To me, it looks like a little kid.
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting. Obviously, we debunked all the photos. Everybody was up here walking through, and nothing came in but that picture.
And we have a good video later.
Yeah, and they had the toys would go off all the time, so it was pretty crazy. We're like, set a camera up by the rocking horse because it goes off. At 3 o'clock in the morning, actually, it goes off. So it's pretty. There's a whole story.
We'll show you that. Hopefully, we will.
This is me taking a picture of Patty on some kind of weird black, almost looks like fingers there, I don't know.
It looks like it's trying to touch me, but I didn't have a clue. I was just busy taking pictures.
That house was built over an old stagecoach stop way back in the 1800s. She had all kinds of activity there. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like an arm.
Yeah.
Your arm.
So this is this lady had a lot of activity, and we caught this swirling mist. What I like about the trail cams, they time-stamped it down here, so that was 7/16.
And we were in complete darkness, didn't see anything
Infrared
like
lights
that at
didn't
all.
flash, so there's infrared lights.
Yeah.
The owner's right here, and this is what formed. I thought that was kind of interesting, right next to her, and that was 8/28. My dowsers read that I had a baby hooked to her, that's, you know, connected to her, and she started crying, and I didn't realize that she lost the baby. So we think maybe that's the energy. But she said it was always a toy box, and it acted like a kid spirit. And one day the ball rolled down the hallway, the ball came out, it rolled all the way down and went around the corner. I'm like, well, that sounds like a little kid to me, you know. And she wasn't scared anymore. She was like a Catholic and afraid of the whole. Some other group told her there were demons hunting her down. I'm like, oh my God.
The funny coincidence with that is too.
It wasn't.
It was twins. One twin miscarried, and then the other. We came in the day before. It would have been their 9th birthday.
Yeah, we do that with anniversaries a lot. Well, that would have been his birthday tomorrow, or
yeah. So we
how
thought that
weird
was
is
a
that?
funny little coincidence.
That happens quite a bit, though. Anniversaries with us.
The other funny thing that happened there, she kind of started chickening out, which sometimes people do that. We never push people. So Peter called me up and he said, well, keep free because I used my dowsing rod. She said her dog had puppies and she doesn't want us to come in, but keep free because my dowsing rods say we're going to go there, and her dog didn't have puppies. So I'm like, okay. So about a half hour later, Peter calls and says, hey, guess what? She wants us to come out. So then when she found out this might be family, she was feeling so much better about the whole thing. At the end of the night, she's giving us hugs and she says, I've got a confession to make, which we knew what it was going to be. She said, my dog didn't have puppies. But we didn't tell her we already knew that with the dowsing, right?
It was kind of funny. I said, well, don't make other plans. I think we're going to go out.
And we did.
This one's a pretty good one.
Yeah, this is an old farmhouse.
This was taken at 10:19. You can see my sister walking through. We're just picking up equipment, and you can see this form right here starting to form.
Now you can see my shadow in the window there too.
Yeah.
Back there.
So we debunked everything. So about 10:21, so it's only a few more minutes, this head appears on the hole. It gets bigger, obviously. And if you see his face, he's got like a top hat on. And we showed it to the owners. The guy goes, that's the guy I seen in my house. He goes, I seen this black mist and it's shaped into a person. Because I went up, I put my hand right through him. But that was him. He's a huge guy. Like, yeah, that's what we got.
And we did not see his
There's
any
no,
kind of
there's nothing in the windows. I mean, I debunked pretty heavy.
any shadow.
And they, actually, the owner, I caught him out, was sitting right there on the couch, and he knew there was nobody playing any games. I said, yeah, you were there at 10, remember you were picking up all the stuff? He goes, yeah, he was right there, and I caught him out. But
We actually have another good one, which we have a small picture of that somebody coming
right
out
in
of the
there.
wall.
He's got like a miner's helmet or something. But yeah, it was crazy. So the next one's a close-up. And it kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but his teeth are really narrowing.
he's not a nice looking guy.
Yeah, it's nice. That's a hard picture, like, man, his teeth are like.
And the only thing we really do to our pictures, because we want to be just, you know, no chance of people thinking we're putting stuff out there that isn't, we just sometimes enlarge them, but that's it.
I actually had a couple guys scan my pictures. Oh, I'll get the overlays, because if you Photoshop, there's overlays. And I'm like, go ahead and scan them, and then, you know, let me know what you find out, because I know they're real. Scan, he sent me the scanned photos back, and said they're real, because but I wasn't there. So what we got was what we got. So he goes, well, I can prove it, you know, I can prove it. There you go.
I said it's behind them, and that's this.
That's a table.
Just a table.
Yeah.
Just a table.
And curtain.
This picture's hard to see because I don't know what it's doing right there. It's kind of acting weird. The house was built, they found Indian bones in the basement, or, you know, when they were building the basement, they were red and charred. You know, that's what they did back then. There's ceremonies, they put in the bodies.
This was on 7th Street in Ithaca.
Yeah. And some of my pictures have a little, like, portal. It's kind of interesting. I've noticed a few of my pictures have an opening. But she goes, you go first. I went in the house. It was actually stuff piled up against her door. I had to push the stuff on the inside. She goes, see, I'm not crazy. I walked up, her TV turned on, her radio turned on. I'm like, holy.
And no one was in there.
She goes, see what I'm telling you? All this stuff comes on. And I think I'm crazy. I'm like, she made like 5 sets of car keys up, and she'd throw them on the table, and she'd find them in the toilet and the shoe, just weird places. Or they just be gone completely. So,
now, the one thing too, when we first started this, we were all about getting the evidence, getting good pictures and all. But it's kind of turned into, like, we like the feeling of helping people, because a lot of people will call us and they'll think, oh my goodness, I'm the only one this has ever happened to. And they usually start out with, you're going to think this is crazy, but. And then when we help them, they're just so relieved, and makes us feel good too, just to know that some of the stuff is legit, that they're
pretty stressful.
feeling or
One lady was sitting outside, it's in there, she's shaking with her cigarette, she couldn't even smoke. She was scared to death. It's in my house. I was like, holy crap, she's scared out of her mind. She was great. Scared to death. So I don't know, we got this in Willard. I was drawn to the back of Hadley Hall. We did a walkthrough tour, and I felt it. I knew there was something there looking at me. So I went
They told us we could take pictures.
I went behind the curtains, and this is actually the catwalk, and there was nothing, there was no way anybody could get up there. As I looked, I checked it out, but if you look right here, you'll see like a woman in a white dress. Some can see it, some can't. And but I felt her hair, my arms went up, I got goosebumps right up in the back of my neck. It was crazy. So I had a full spectrum camera, that's why it looks that shade. So I just took a lot of pictures.
This is more of a close-up.
That's a close-up. I don't know if you can see the white face. It looks like makeup on. And the dress. It's got like a little frill collar. It's hard to see because I think that's a hat, like a frill, like a hat. She was above me looking down at me, so it's pretty interesting. I got other photos, nothing there. Just she was there and then she was gone. So one thing if you are ghost hunting, take a lot of pictures. Don't just snap one and walk away. Take 2, 3,
3 or 4.
Because if something does show up, we can say, okay, it was there, and it's not. Someone's like, oh, you put a doll up there. I'm like, there's no doll up there. Some people say crazy stuff. So it was pretty cool. And then they say Hadley Hall, they hear music at night, and all kinds of stuff happens at night.
How to play music?
Organ music. I think there is an organ in the basement. Yeah, so a lot of crazy stuff happens. So I thought that was pretty cool. I knew there was something there when I was taking pictures, and I could feel her energy. It was crazy.
We'd love to get in there, but we
Cool
tried.
place. I know we get good evidence.
Yeah.
This was the house. The owners took this picture, and there was like a white mist around the whole house.
This was the kind of evilish one out in Hammondsport, yeah.
To me, some people even thought there was something in the window. They're like, nobody was in there, so I don't know. That's one of the people that moved out of their house. That's the only people that we know that moved actually out of their house to get the heck away from us.
Yeah.
This is the back.
That's the bed.
Yeah.
And they all got scratched, held down in bed, scratched.
So if you ever get called out to Hammondsport, check with us first.
That's ongoing. So. Yeah, this was interesting.
This is weird.
Yeah, so
I
many-
don't know what this is.
This was actually in a mirror. It was in the Taylor house. We've been out there several times. Got some great evidence there. This was in a mirror. It almost looks like an alien face or something weird, so I just thought I'd put it in there.
Now, are you going to play the EVP we got there?
We
Of
can.
you?
Yeah, we can
we
play.
got.
We got a whole argument there. This girl's cursing. You hear this guy hitting her. It's crazy. So it's just, we got a dog barking, which is the first dog EVP we got.
Did you Taylor House too? Did you guys get some evidence?
I had something PSP said, just not, I mentioned my name, and it's like my name.
See, and I think your name came up there.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
We actually had a medium go in there. She goes, well, I'm going to open myself up tonight, so if I act weird, let me know. We're actually doing a TV show. I do a local show a minute ago. And she's really calm usually. And all of a sudden she started stomping around. What the heck is she doing? She looks down the hall. She goes, that boy better get back in his room. I'm like, holy crap, that's not her, you know. And she started walking toward the stairway. And she said a girl, and she got thrown down the stairway. I grabbed her, like, what are you doing? And she wouldn't respond to me, so I walked her outside, and she's like, what happened? I'm like, don't you remember any of that? She's like, nope. So that was pretty scary. When I looked at her, her face changed. It was freaky.
And the dog EVP we got
That was
there, we
really
actually
creepy.
found a mummified dog. I don't know if it was still there when you guys went. Up in the third floor, there was
Toward the attic,
yeah. We got a dog EVP.
So it was kind of funny.
You know what, you can't see down in the basement too, you just can't see.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
We didn't hear about that yet.
No.
That's set up as a haunted house.
Oh, I said, that's why. They brought, I heard they brought the hunt.
Yeah.
That wasn't there originally. This is one of my better pictures, is something holding a box right in front of the computer.
That was in the Cornell guy's
Cornell
house.
grad student's house. He had a lot of activities. Computer would kick on, there were words, weird stuff. He actually seen a
His
woman.
mouse was in the air one time, his computer
He came,
mouse.
yeah, he came in this, his computer cords were just floating through the air. He's like, what the heck? He said, I was just watching my cords float through the air, and then they all of a sudden they dropped. He's like, somebody was just holding them, but there was nobody there. And he's just scared the crowd. He's seen a woman walk by his room about 3 o'clock at night, and he heard the toilet flush. He goes, Mom, what are you doing? His mom's like, he goes, who are you talking to? I'm in my bedroom. He's like, well, who's the girl just walked in the bathroom and flushed the toilet? She goes, it wasn't me. And the door closed, so he checked it, and there was nobody in there. So it was freak, you know, that's when he called me, of course. But it's kind of interesting that we actually got a picture. So I came in, was at 4:06, so this is 4:11.
So 5 minutes late.
I'm leaning over the desk. I'm over the desk. So if you see, it's almost starting to go away. You can actually see through it, the shades. I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't know there was anything there. I was just putting my digital down. This is all desk space right through here. He was a Cornell grad student, so it was huge. I knew there's no way nothing could be in front of me. So to me, that's my
And
best
yes, she
picture.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is our best guy.
And if you look, it actually moved, because the first picture was here, and then it moved to my face, and it's like right in my face. Which that's kind of freaky. So, one of my better pictures. And that was actually in the Taylor house. That was in the front door, the entry. And again, see that little portal? We get a lot of these portals when we get pictures. It's kind of funny they show up. I'm starting to recognize the little portals. Well, that's one of my motion lights. It's set off. That went off, but you can see an image of like a woman. Pretty crazy. And we seen the motion lights go off. Like, I hope I got some, because we actually see them set off. We're like, there's nobody down there. I actually got a picture. I was like, that's cool. So yeah, that's the front doorway, the double doors in the front. And that's that long hallway. Hallways are great. There's a lot of, things travel through the hallway, so it'd be a lot of
Always stairs. Stairs are
always
good
there's
too.
a lot of energy. So yeah, the medium actually picked up a little girl, or a little, 14 years old. So I thought, I'm looking at it, it's hard to guess. Her face is like really distorted if you zoom in on it. It's pretty grotesque looking. So I don't know what happens with it. This one's hard. I tried to zoom in on it. You might want to go to the next one. It's easier to see. This
You
is
see
in
it
the,
better over here.
yeah, the museum, Seneca Falls Museum. I took a picture out in the kitchen, and I got almost a ghost-looking face. There's like an eye down here, which I thought was interesting.
I think there's like 3.
Yeah, some people
And they were
noticed.
getting locked out. They had like a hook lock in the museum, they'd go out to get the mail, come back, and the door would be locked from the
They'd be
inside.
physically hooked to the hooks. They're like, what the heck? It's like they're locking themselves. So there's a lot of stories with the Seneca Falls Museum.
Just went around Cuba Street there.
Right on the main road, yeah.
By
Actually-
the Johnson House, or the old Johnson.
We did the Johnson House too. That had energy
Because
too.
I heard the ghosting out there, they call it Edward or something. Yeah.
We
Edward
called
Minders.
them minders.
Minders, yeah, managers.
Yeah,
That's, they think the
minders.
original owners there. So, yeah. So they like.
So I would say that guy's Mr. Minders, whether he is or not.
I don't know, there is a face there, but I don't know. Hard to say. So we got proof or something. Again, we're not big into orbs, but it's funny.
This is a nice solid one.
Yeah, it's solid. I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in orbs. It's just what happened after I took this picture. I took, like I said, a bunch of pictures. Then we came back upstairs and I actually almost fell on my face. Click the next one.
We had,
Something thrown down the chair.
we had been going through there for hours without any issue. It was only 3 of us
It was
in
pitch
there.
dark and I almost went right on my face.
We all went downstairs, didn't hear a chair drop or anything, come back up and started walking through, and there was a chair nicely blocking our way.
Wayside Inn out in Elbridge, that's really active. The last time there were a TV show, we actually got something thrown at us, and you can hear it on the video. It hit the stairs and rolled down the stairs. A girl was supposed to be committed suicide. We were talking about it. She had a prop. We're like, well, that's pretty disrespectful. You got a prop. And the girl hung herself right at that time. Something threw something at us. You can hear it. He's like, you did that. I'm like, we're all right here. How the heck? So we're like, we go down, and sure enough, there's something on the stairs where it hit. It fell down. So,
And
yeah.
they were having like one bottles break and
A lot
glasses
of
break. They've
poltergeist
had a
stuff.
lot. Actually, they've been written up in a couple of the local ghosts.
So we've got a lot of evidence there. So that's a cool place.
The other funny thing that happened here, about 4 o'clock in the morning, we were investigating, the cops come. We wondered when that was gonna happen. All the time, that was the only time. And they're like, what are you guys doing here? And so we said, well, Margot gave us permission to be in here. And then they said, are we gonna be on TV?
Well, can we join you? Like, your cops can't join us. They wanted to actually join in. They're funny. They were great, actually.
Once they found out we were legit.
Yeah, after they checked us out. This one we just got, and it's going to go out in Newfield. I don't know if you can see it. This one's kind of hard. Right here, it almost looks like a hand.
An arm.
Actually took 100 pictures. There's nothing in it. There's one picture on the trail cam. It shows like this hand coming up through the window.
And mind you, that was about at least 10 feet up. Not, somebody outside couldn't have been out there. I mean,
I tried to debunk it. I tried to wave my hand and try to reenact. I couldn't do
reach
it.
the window.
Funny thing, the guy says, do you know what happened to the farmer out back here? He goes, well, I don't know if he died, but he lost his arm in one of the hay binders, or whatever you call them. So the guy actually did lose an arm out back of his house. He's out on the farm. It's pretty interesting. So. But there was a lot of activity there too. I thought that was kind of cool. Devil Den, do you ever get a chance to go to Gettysburg? That's awesome. Devil's Den.
Activity.
A lot of Confederates, a lot of soldiers died there, so.
We have a good picture, which we don't have on here, but of a mist
One of
in
these.
the caves, which are all dirt and rock, but yet we had this green mist, and it almost looked like windows, which I think you've got.
I got an EVP too. I asked what happened out in the fields. My 1,000 rods took me out. I think it was the triangular
Triangle field.
fields. And I hear this guy clear as day goes, death and doom. That kind of makes sense. I thought that was interesting. So
So we're gonna try some of the EVPs.
We can. You want
There's
just
one more.
There's a couple more. You know, we don't get into this very often. We actually have a psychic medium that helps us, and she actually got burnt in one of the rooms. It was one of the worst, not worst, but bad house that we did. Yeah, she went in the room and she came out, damn thing, whatever, and it was like her hand was bleeding. I was like, holy crap, this is just getting ready to wash it off. I think she did, and there was blood running off it. But it was raised like a burn. Like, that was pretty crazy. So she had a Catholic priest bless it before that, and it made it worse. So that didn't work. So actually we got it to stop, or I should say, Lorna did. We have a medium that helps us. She's really good. She does a hypnotherapy too. She puts people underneath, past life or detached spirits, something is attached to them. I've seen we got some pretty crazy video and stuff. So yeah, she helps quite a bit. That time she actually got burnt. I would say burnt because it was raised up. So, and the last pictures, it kind of goes way back to the Native American days. I take holy water and cedar, and a lot of people have put this by their house or sprayed it. They actually put it in a spray bottle. It actually says it helps shield their house from activity. So it's one of our things we use for protection. We give the owners.
People want it. Some people just want to know something's there and don't want to take them away.
It's usually a bad house and bad stuff's happened. We'll give them the holy water and the cedar mix. I'll soak it in a bowl and I'll pour it into a spray bottle. They'll actually spray their rooms almost like a shield. And a lot of times it does work. They ask me for more. They're like, you got more of that stuff? So it does seem to work. We don't, we try to help them out as much as we can. That goes way back. Lorna gave me that. It goes back to Native Americans, I guess. The whole cedar and that. So it's pretty interesting.
Is that cedar from cedar trees?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that the red part or the...
That's actually the tree part, yeah.
Okay.
It's chips.
It's chips. It's a mix, actually. So. But it seems to work, so I was like, well, if it works, So, you want to try to load the video up? So, the setup with this is the girl says, look, my toys go off about 3 o'clock in the morning or go off late at night. I'm like, okay, I'm a skeptical kind of like, she's put this beer, put it in front of the camera. Like, all right, so I put it out there.
And we had this on that for about 4 hours.
About 3 o'clock in the morning, something happens. So it was pretty interesting.
Hi there. Let's get moving.
After we get our local trap.
They actually practice voodoo in this house. We found gold parts now in the basement. There's a long history of craziness in this house. And yeah, so.
But the guy thought he was sacrificing goats to protect himself.
The whole voodoo thing that's what they did. They sacrificed animals like goats to actually protect themselves. So it's not like he was doing it as a malicious thing. And when we had the medium come in, he was just scared. Yeah, you can click out there. Actually, our camera got thrown 3 times off the other room. That's what we were doing. My brother.
Try it again, maybe, so everybody knows what they're looking for.
Yeah, we can try it.
It's the one.
Which one?
Are you talking about the baby monitor? I think it's the one on the top.
Oh, the baby monitor? Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So she took the baby monitor down because she was hearing noises in it. So I had to set back up. And there was nothing in the other room. We had videos on both sides.
No kids. And yeah.
There was no kids, but if you listen to it, it almost sounds like a little kid almost. So we're like, wow. So she goes, that's why I'm hooked it, because I was hearing stuff. So we got, again, what she said was happening in the house.
Should we try a couple of these?
Yeah, let's try some. Yeah, that's my ghost box stuff.
Oh shoot, you know what, the one video we've got to do is the Interlaken one, though, if we can get it off. We had this tough guy that was at this place in Interlaken, and he was kind of provoking and saying, if something's here, give me a sign, and this tough guy.
In one of the bedrooms upstairs, Taylor House. Does anybody want to say anything? We're in the adult part. You can talk to us above the stairs.
I looped the last 2 parts. Did you see hear the swearing part? So I was just walking up the stairs. Was anybody here with us? And I get this woman talking to me, calling me, swearing at me. I was like, what the heck? So I was pretty impressed. So anyway, This was in the Taylor house. Argument, yeah. At the end, you hear loud, you hear that, I cut it off. When the medium walked in, you go, you know, if somebody got in the argument, a man and a woman, he caught her cheating because she was across the road, hanging out in another house. Well, he caught her coming up the stairs and back stairs. Argument, he ended up throwing her down the stairway and killing her. And at the end, you hear a loud crash. So I'm wondering if that was it, that they played the argument. So it was crazy. Like, that was the craziest EVP I ever, because a whole
Do you know what date and time it was? We probably had the date and time, maybe.
yeah, that was bad. That was like 2012.
Because even that day, that could repeat itself.
Yeah,
that's
that
true.
would be interesting to know if it was
That is
like
true.
on the day of.
We could, yeah, we could.
We should find out if somebody actually.
Because that was like, what the heck? It was quiet. It was just me and the other guy, and we were like, what is going on? So we thought it was kind of quiet.
Why don't you do the dog EVP?
Yeah, we got a dog in the house. To me, it almost sounds fake, but it was in, you can hear it echo off the walls. It was in the house.
So there's no dog there.
There was no dog there.
Only the dead dog.
Only the dead
Mummified dog and the.
Yeah, come on.
There's
This is Taylor House.
This
Yeah.
is the Taylor house.
Yeah. My brother was holding his digital recorder. He said, God, it sounds like it's right on my lap.
And you can actually hear it echoing off the room, so it was inside. You could tell the noise. It was really weird. We're like, oh, we got animal UV, I guess. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. What else?
The bullet one is good.
Well, the ghost box, go to the top one. Yeah, this is on my ghost box.
Hey, he's one.
8 years old, that was clear.
It said a name, but it said 8-year-old kid, so it was kind of cool. Sometimes a ghost box will like a long sentence, which it doesn't usually do that, so it's kind of cool. It says 8-year-old kid. I thought that was kind of interesting. So that was this is. I don't know if you heard that. It's hard to hear that when it's deathly gloom. I was out in by Douglas Den. I asked what happened here, and that's what I got. I don't know if you want to play with me. It's hard to hear that one at the very end.
Is that a spirit box or anything?
No, that's a straight up
EVP.
digital recorder.
The kill was pretty good too.
Yeah. We were
We were hoping they
This in
were.
your coffin, is it?
It was a makeshift coffin. We're like, oh, is this your coffin? And that's what we got. We got a response from it. So
This isn't your coffin, is it?
kind of evil sound, like killed in a weird voice. So we're like, okay. My brother was provoking to push him, and he actually got pushed in the barn.
Yeah.
We stopped provoking after that. His eyes, because all our equipment went dead, and we all got the batteries. And went,
He
"What's
was
going
in
on?"
this barn in Canandaigua all by himself, and it was dark, and Peter had left for a little bit, and we had been saying, poke us, poke us.
And do something.
And all of a sudden he heard in the gravel something coming up behind him. Well, he was getting ready to take a picture because he thought, I'm going to capture whatever is
You heard
coming up behind.
walking up on him.
But before he could do that, he said, straight poke right in the back. And unfortunately, we had a camera on him, and you can see the swish of him jumping up, but you can't see his face. That would have been great.
He moved pretty fast. And he's like, there was nothing there. He's a huge skeptic too, so it's great that a skeptic would be. He's like, that could have been this, the wind. He's like, no, something poked me really hard and hit me in the back.
So he'll always say that.
Yeah. And this is in Perry City. This was pretty cool.
People don't believe.
Whoa, whoa, what's that?
Pointing toward something. What are they pointing toward?
She goes, what's that? What's that? She had 1,000 rods in her hand, and the voice says no one. And it was almost like a whisper. So I'm going to play it one time just to...
People don't believe.
Whoa, whoa, what's that?
Pointing toward something. What are they pointing toward?
We got a bunch of get outs, so we got to get them on there to get out.
Do you have the bullet noise? That's pretty good.
So, not on here.
Oh, yeah, that was...
I'm not sure what this one is, T-Bird Valves.
Yeah, I'm covered up, yes.
Who's here with me?
Roll. Yeah, sure.
Who's here with me? That's your deal.
Roll.
Gotta go back. We were playing that, the SB7. She had it, she had it popped. We were like, she goes, who's there? It's the owner. And she let it go, and we heard this kid scream.
Yeah, I'm covered up, yes.
Who's here with me?
Roll. Yeah,
There was a kid that came over, it was really clear.
Who's
There's
here with
nothing
me?
going on with it, just
That's
those
your
kids
deal.
just...
Roll. What the heck? I heard one too. I got chills going on.
I felt it. So yeah, so we got, and actually Lorna went in there, the psyche picked up a little boy. So it's pretty interesting. So you want to try to play the one with the guy?
The interlaking one, I think that's so funny.
I don't
And
know.
if not, maybe it says interlaking.
Let's try one more shot at it. We can do whatever. This guy was funny. He was provoking in this house. He was a 6'6" lumberjack. Yeah, do something to me. He's like all tough. And he goes, move something, throw something. Actually, a picture from him flew off the wall.
You can hear it, but you can't really see
There was a
it.
fan or something. It just was out of the thing, but he heard it and scared the crap out of him. He lets off some F-bombs like crazy. But it was a great video. So, big old guy is like, again, he was provoking like crazy, which we don't like to do. But
Yeah, because what we feel anymore, as we've done this long enough, we don't want to leave families with problems.
well, a lot of groups we notice they go in and amp up the activity and then they leave. They get great evidence, and then they leave the owner like they got to live there. So we try not to do that.
Yeah, here.
Are we in the wrong room? Can you guys touch anything? Can you guys touch anything? I'll go sit in the kiddies' room. Whoa, what the fuck's moving in here? Yeah, what the fuck? I don't know, shit's moving in here. I'm just going to another room, fuck that shit. Fuck's moving in here. I don't know, shit's moving in here.
Scared to grab this guy, come out of the room like this. But you can actually hear it too, which is crazy. And it was right over here, and this fan, unfortunately, was right in the way. It was right on this table here. The photo flew off the wall and hit the wall way over here. And actually, I could tell from the
It tickles
dust.
me though, because he was so calm and that something happened.
He really didn't think he was going to happen. He's big, 6'6", burly, like a lumber, worked with lumber. It's huge. It's cold, dark room too.
So it can be a lot of fun too.
Yeah. He was talking all the way down the hallway. It was great. We actually, that night, seen a full body apparition, dark shadow person. The next room down, we were sitting in the next bedroom. I'm watching down the hallway. My brother actually seen it on the monitor downstairs too. This dark shadow guy walks right by us, right into the bedroom. I was like, what the heck? Did we just see that? My brother's like, the shadow person just walked in that bedroom. Like, I just seen that. So my hair, my arms are still sticking up. So anyway, I walked up. I want to make sure it's not a human. I thought maybe it was a person. Walked down there, didn't know nobody down there. And my brother, and fortunately, for some reason didn't record. But people seen it downstairs on the monitors. So that house was really active.
It's a center right there.
Yeah, and he gave us permission. We're laughing, but he gave us permission to use that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't use it otherwise.
It was a relative of the girls. girls, but the girls get hit by stuff. She walked down the hall and something hit her in the back, like a can or something. This stuff was flying. It was crazy. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. It's one of our funnier bits. But you can actually hear the thing hit the wall. That's what I like. And it's right where this fan is.
That's where it was.
Yeah.
It was right here. It's right behind this fan.
Okay.
And,
Flew
it
off.
just, and of course, he's there in total darkness.
Yeah. So you gotta give the guy a little
It looks
credit.
light here, but it was total darkness.
He's like, I'll never forget that.
What's your question?
Wait, who's that guy?
What was it? What was the guy?
Yeah, who is it?
He was a relative of the girl we were investigating for. He wanted to sit in. We're like, yeah, sure, you know, you can hang out with
He looks
us.
familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, you might know.
You might know him. We got permission from him, so I'm trying to remember his name. Yeah, he thought it was kind of cool, but it scared the crap out of him. He's, I never had anything fly off the shelf or anything like that happen to me. So, but he was asking for something to move. If you listen to what he was saying, before that he was provoking. You pushed me, you something.
And like I said, with the infrared, we're seeing it, but he's in total darkness.
Yeah, that's, you couldn't see your hand in your face. That was a cold, dark room, so we can see him, but he couldn't see.
So when something whizzed by him, he was probably scared. I would have been too.
All he knows is something was moving in that room, and he knew he was the only one in that room. So it stinks that fan was right there, because that's right where that photo was, a picture frame right there.
What time was it?
That was late at night. What was it, about 2 a.m.?
Maybe. I was, yeah.
That's right. That was very late, so you know. So, and right after that's when I seen the shadow figure and walk right by us. I was like, holy crap. So I thought it was a person really, because it was so solid. I'm like, that had to be a person. My brother's and I seen it. He's seen it on the monitor too. So of course I run right down there because I wanted to bump it. So I'm kind of skeptical, even though I see something in my own eyes. I want to keep trying. I'm looking in the room, right? There's nobody in here. So it's just weird because I think your mind tries to figure out what the heck's going on. It's not something you try to rationalize when you
Do
see
you,
something.
if we're, that's going to be our last one,
Yeah.
tell about the radio.